YouTube trying to shut us down. They can't do it. They can't.
That's not YouTube. You know who that was? You know who that was? That's some whack-ass Titan fans. That's those whack-ass Raider fans. That's somebody reporting spam because they couldn't take that they were wrong, and I was getting at them in the comments. That's exactly what it is. Somebody reported it because they didn't like what I had to say. You don't like what I have to say, get off my page or my channel. Don't report us. Sorry-ass people.
Wow.
I don't care anymore. When I clip this shit,
This is great. This is great. Okay, we're back on YouTube, though. We're talking Cleveland Browns. Aaron was just talking about how Matt Rule is the problem in Carolina. Give CMC the ball more. And the Browns.
And how Bailey doesn't know what the hell he's talking about Baker did everything he could. I don't know what game you were watching, bro. Baker Mayfield did not do everything he could. He had a 37 QBR. That's terrible.
Jacoby
Brissett had a better one.
Never seen someone so blind to Baker Mayfield love than what Bailey is. But you are right. It is fair to say that Nick Chubb was the player of the game in this game statistically. But I did want to just show some love towards the kickers and Cade York as my player of the game. So it's safe to say you don't think that Baker Mayfield got his revenge on his former team.
No, he played like absolute dog shit. Like absolute dog shit. If you watch the game, he had a great wide open Robbie Anderson, great. And he ran a quarterback run up the middle for a touchdown. Cool. He played like dog crap. He did not play well. Looked bad, inaccurate, didn't play well.
Okay.
I'm not even entertaining that conversation. Well, hating Baker has nothing to do with it. I also was the same guy that said that I thought with Baker Mayfield, they could be a playoff team. So don't say I hate Baker Mayfield because I did say that I thought they could be a playoff team. He plays like that. They're not playing in no playoffs. He has to play better.
That's true. What was the play of the game, though?
Play of the game, Myles Garrett eating Baker Mayfield for lunch over and over and over again. I actually put 2 plays of the games in here because it was on back-to-back plays where Garrett gets around the right edge or left side of the offensive line and just eats Baker Mayfield for lunch. So those were my 2 plays of the game. He had no chance by the time his back foot hit his drop step. Garrett was there. So Myles Garrett doing what Myles Garrett does, generational talent, play the game.
Yeah. Now that we're back on YouTube, and I know that certain person's watching, first week 1 win on the road for the Cleveland Browns since 1994 when Bill Belichick was the coach. And second Vinny Testaverde reference of the show. Vinny Testaverde was the Browns quarterback at that time. Next up for the Cleveland Browns, they take on the New York Jets at home, and the Panthers will head to East Rutherford to take on the Giants. Next up on our game recaps, it is the Indianapolis Colts and the Houston Texans. And oh boy, what a game this was.
Yes, it was. It was Jonathan Taylor early and often, but it was 4th and goal. The Texans defense holds strong. Their defense played absolutely out of their mind here. Davis Mills is going to find who? O.J. Howard? An O.J. Howard sighting not once, but twice. O.J. Howard, 2 catches on the day, both for touchdown, 38 yards. What a scene there. Then it's that man again. It's that Jonathan Taylor, just 31 for 161 and a touchdown. Best running back in football right now. Hard to argue that point. And then the guy we all thought was going to break out, it was Michael Pittman. 9 for 121 and a touchdown. Michael Pittman getting into the end zone, tying the game at 20. We go to overtime. The Colts looking to win it. What? Rodrigo, no, it's wide right. Houston would 3rd and 1 here. They would have an opportunity to get a first down, get into field goal range. Rex Burkhead? Are you serious? They would punt the ball there. Lovie Smith, huge disappointment. It would just end in a tie. I don't even know how to end that highlight. It was so weird. 2 things really quick because I don't want to stay on this game long. Oh, that was weird. Number 1, Dameon Pierce didn't get the ball enough.
Dameon Pierce got exactly what you say. Dameon Pierce, I should have just listened to you and not listened to you at the same time. I should have listened to you and not listened to you at the same time because I was guilty of this as well, getting very hyped for Dameon Pierce as being that guy. But the rookie running back curse is what I'm going to call this now, that rookie running backs, unless you're like a super high profile running back, it's going to take you time to blow up in fantasy football. That's all I want to say.
The problem with Pierce in this game was they did not give him the ball enough on the ground. Rex Burkhead can't have 14 carries. Sorry, can't. Can't have 14 carries for Rex Burkhead. You can throw to him out of the backfield as many times as you want. He's an excellent receiving back. 3rd and 1, and you're giving the ball to Rex Burkhead. I'm sorry. You cannot do that. It's not going to work. That was bad. I was disappointed in that. But overall, I thought Houston's defense was excellent. The Colts have some issues offensively. I worried about them a little bit now. They really don't have anybody on the other side of Michael Pittman. Nyheim Hines, I thought he would be a factor. He was 6 catches, 50 yards. I think that's going to be the running theme. He's probably the wide receiver 2 on that team. And but overall, this game was just very blah. Matt Ryan, Jonathan Taylor, Damian Pierce, Davis Mills played Brandon Cooks played well, but Brandon Cooks always does what Brandon Cooks does.
Yeah.
Pretty much 15 fantasy points a week, 7 for 82 is a typical Brandon Cooks stat line.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have much to say on this game, to be honest.
Player of the game, though, I gave it to Matt Ryan for his debut, putting up 352 yards, a tutty, and an interception. He did throw 50 times in this game, which, again, we talked about earlier on in the show about how weird it was to see all those attempts and then all those rushing attempts from Jonathan Taylor. But I did give it up to Matt Ryan for a debut that was good, not great, but this game as a whole was good, not great. Aaron, how hard was it to find a top play, and what was it?
It was very hard. I went with the touchdown that basically made it a tie. It was Michael Pittman coming here, and then diving into the end zone, getting in, tying the game up with a minute left or just under 2 minutes left, and basically saved the Colts from a bad loss in week 1 for the 9th consecutive season. So not easy to find one, but Michael Pittman gets it, especially with the day he had.
They did tie the second longest all-time winless streak for not having a season opener win. The Colts streak still stays alive. The Colts will travel to Jacksonville to take on the Jags next week, and the Texans will travel all the way down to Denver to play the Broncos. The next game on our list is going to be the New York Giants and the Tennessee Titans.
Hi, Titans fans. Ryan Tannehill showing why he should be the starter early to Dontrell Hilliard, not Treylon Burks. Oh, I don't know. Then it was Daniel Jones coming back, and what does Daniel Jones do? He's a walking turnover. Bud Dupree picks it up. Titans in business, already up 10-0. It's 13-0 now. When that man, it's Saquon. He's back. Saquon down the sideline looking fresh. Saquon had himself a day. 18 for 164 and a touchdown. He would add 6 catches for 30. He was big in this game. Daniel Jones here is going to find Sterling Shepard, who's also back. And Sterling Shepard takes this one to the house. And just like that, we have a tie ball game, folks. The Giants in business. Now it's 20-13. Giants looking to tie it up late in the game. Daniel Jones finds his man, touchdown. And then what? Brian Dable says, we're going to go for 2. And I don't know what happened with that highlight. Don't play it again. Did you click it off?
I didn't. Did you have
it must have not clipped all the way. It must have got clipped. Anyways, Saquon Barkley gets in on the 2-point conversion, and the Giants go on to win. And I know what everybody's going to say. Daniel Jones with 17 of 21. Daniel Jones, 17 of 21. He only had 4 incompletions in this game. That's wild. He also had a 25 QBR, took 5 sacks, threw an interception, had a fumble.
Yeah. Saquon put this team. Saquon put it on this team on his back.
Daniel Jones is not it. He is not the answer. He will not be a Giant next year. Saquon Barkley put this team on his back. But enough about the Giants. I picked them to win. I knew they were going to win. I expected them to win, and they won. This is all about the Tennessee Titans. Hi, Titans fans. It's me again. Listen, Derrick Henry, 20 carries, 82 yards, 4 yards a carry damn near. Derrick Henry did his thing, but he didn't get in the end zone. Ryan Tannehill, 20 of 33, 266, 2 touchdowns, but late he didn't play well. And 3 for 55 from your rookie, AJ 2.0. And somehow, some way, you still lost to the New York Giants. And you are telling me that this is the year. We only lost because of injuries. Well, blah, and this and that. The Tennessee Titans suck, bro. They fucking suck. They are not good. They are absolute trash, bro. You can give me all the stats. You can give me all the AFC #1 teams. They went 3 for 11 on third down against the New York Giants. They gave up 394 yards against the New York Giants. They are terrible. The Tennessee Titans are bad. They're not a good football team this year. Unlike Pittsburgh, I picked Tennessee go 8-9. You had them going 6-11, and somebody was on YouTube talking shit, and I had to get at them for you. I should have picked Tennessee at 6-11, and Pittsburgh closer to like 9-8, 8-9, 10-7, something like that. Tennessee is trash. Tennessee is not good. Do we have their schedule somewhere?
I know. One moment, please.
Because I'm telling you right now, at home against the New York Football Giants, and this is what you do. If Derrick Henry doesn't run for 200 yards, you guys can't win a football game. Where was the newest additions at? Where was Robert Woods? Where was Austin Hooper? Where was Traylon Burks? 3 for 55. Shout out to the Giants for making things happen, but they didn't do anything special. Saquon Barkley did. Yeah. Let's see. Loss. Washington might be their first win, possibly. Loss. 2 wins. I am now convinced that the Tennessee Titans' maximum wins this year is 5 wins. And this is after 1 week. Yes, I know. Tennessee will not win more than 5 games. They're bad.
So it's funny you say that, because I had them winning against the Giants because I thought that Mike Vrabel could be a difference maker against a rookie head coach.
Yeah, he was. He cost them the win.
Yeah, he was. He lost, and I had them losing Buffalo, loss. They beat Washington before the bye. They beat the Colts out of the bye, and they beat Houston, and then they beat Jacksonville, and they beat Houston again. That's like their wins for me. I don't see them beating any of those top dog teams. And it's not an easy schedule. Like this is a first place schedule for the Titans. Chiefs, Broncos, Packers, Bengals, Eagles, Chargers, like 6-11, man. I tried.
They don't even get lucky and get to play Dallas without Dak Prescott. He'll even be back by the time they play him.
Good luck. Yeah, it's not looking good for the Tennessee Titans. 6-11. Come at me, Titans fans. Come at me. Aaron, honestly,
we can move on from the Titans. I am over the Titans at this point. Titans fans, I'm going to say it one more time. I told you. I fucking told you. That's it.
Yep, there you go. I was about to ask you what the play of the game was, but I just realized I need to give this man credit, even more credit than what we've already given him. Welcome back, Saquon Barkley, the player of the game. 18 carries, 6 receptions, 194 total yards, a tutty. This man is back and better than ever. Aaron tried to tell us during the offseason that Saquon was going to be the real deal, and, well, he's back. 194 yards. He put the Giants on his back and got them this win here. Shout out Saquon Barkley. Welcome back, player of the game here against the Titans.
Yes, sir. Saquon's back, and it's about health. It's always been about health. Here's the play of the game here. It's just simple. 2-point attempt, probably stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Most people. Saquon says, I don't think so, bruh. It's easy. It's a shovel pass. They actually played it really well. It's actually stopped, and Saquon reads it and says, no, thank you. I'm going to win this game myself. Goes into the end zone, throws the ball over his head, and says, shout out to Dylan Kearns, hater.
Next up for the New York Giants, they will play the Carolina Panthers. And next up for the Titans, they might have a massacre on their hands when they travel to Buffalo to take on the Bills.
Massacre. I'll call it now. Bills by a million.
Okay, great. There it is. Next up on our list, it's the Green Bay Packers and the Minnesota Vikings.
Minnesota Vikings at home taking on the Packers early in the game. It's that man, Jay Jettas. Hit him with the gritty one time. Hey, let him go. Justin Jefferson, this game was all about him. Packers going for it on 4th and goal, trying to get it to A.J. Dillon. Minnesota defense coming up big there. Vikings hyped up under new coach Kevin O'Connell. Kirk Cousins looking really good in this one. 23 of 32, 277, 2 touchdowns. This one here to Justin Jefferson again. Big game there. Justin Jefferson, 184 and 2 touchdowns of his own on the day. It was all Jay Jettas in this one, and it was all Minnesota in this one. Here's that second touchdown from Justin Jefferson. Kirk Cousins finds him. I don't understand how this guy gets so wide open. Gets into the end zone here. Minnesota up 17-0, and Green Bay did not have any answers in this one. It was all Minnesota. Last chance down 23-7. Aaron Rodgers can't make it happen, and Aaron Rodgers, for the second year in a row, blown out on opening day, 23-7.
They have now lost back.
Go ahead. Before you go, I just wanted to say this. Justin Jefferson is good at football.
Very good.
Really, really good at football.
He's very good. And this is why I told people in fantasy to draft. I would be okay with drafting him second overall right behind Jonathan Taylor. He is that dude. He is special. He is great. Packers now have lost back-to-back season openers by the score of 61-10. Not that that is like a crazy stat and a telling stat for the Green Bay Packers. But on the Minnesota Vikings side, Aaron, the Packers defense, the Packers offense, obviously very highly regarded, at least with Aaron Rodgers throwing the ball. You were concerned about this Minnesota Vikings defense heading into the season. Did you see anything good from the Vikings defense that makes you say, okay, maybe they're on the right track to getting better? Or was this still the same old offense is just that good and carrying them to victories?
No, it's not fair to say that today. I think their defense played really well. I thought that they got after Aaron Rodgers. Obviously, Green Bay's banged up on the offensive line. Obviously, there's some wide receiver issues. But I'm going to say this. There was a play early in the game. It was 7-0 Minnesota. Aaron Rodgers throws a deep ball to Christian Watson, wide open for a touchdown. That's basically, he walks in the end zone. He's 15 yards ahead of the guy. Right through it. I mean, just drops the ball. I think this entire game is different if he catches that ball. I don't think Aaron Rodgers trusts his receivers, and we knew this could be an issue. And I thought that was the biggest play of the game. Honestly, to me, that was the play of the game. Because overall, I actually thought that Packers defense did not play that bad, but they were never on the field. They were always on the field. Minnesota was just moving up and down the field with Justin Jefferson, but then Green Bay couldn't do anything offensively, and it was 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. And then they got a big lead, and then the Packers defense really got better in the second half, but their offense just never got anything going. Minnesota's defense played well the entire game, but I didn't know whether to attribute that to Minnesota's defense or to the lack of offense for the Green Bay Packers. It's going to be, to me, a learning curve here for the Packers. And I think that's what I attribute how good Minnesota's defense played more so than anything. So I'm reserving my right to wait and see for Minnesota's defense. I'm still going to wait and see. I want to see an offense that's more put together than Green Bay's is right now. Because we've seen this before. Saw this last year in New Orleans. Week 1, they Green Bay looked like crap. And then next thing you know, they're in the NFC Championship game. So I will tell you, Aaron Jones has to touch the ball a lot more. He's their best offensive player. I'm sorry. I love A.J. Dillon and all, but he doesn't have the explosiveness of an Aaron Jones. 10 carries for 45 yards and a touchdown is nice, but Aaron Jones ran the ball 5 times and ran for 50 yards and was more explosive than A.J. Dillon. He has to touch the ball more, and Christian Watson has to make that catch, or he's going to find himself Romeo Doubs started to make some plays late in that game and some catches, and Aaron Rodgers was throwing to him. I worry that he finds a connection with somebody. Aaron Rodgers will never let that go. So I worry about that as well.
Yeah, that was like the telling sign. Like we were clipping and doing highlights for work, and it was like, if we're telling a story here, if we're telling a story here of what the Packers day looked like, that telling sign of that Christian Watson drop was like that is the story setter, because what happened there is just so huge. This was one of the teams that I said when we were reviewing these games, I was like really interested to see what wide receiver steps up and Aaron Rodgers goes to, and I don't think we got an answer from that. You look at this game, and I was going to make a graphic for it, and I didn't. Devontae Adams in Vegas, 10 receptions, 141 yards and a touchdown. Packers wide receivers as a whole, 12 receptions, 120 yards total. they're missing Devontae. They will miss, and they are going to miss Devontae Adams. Player of the game, though, no arguments. I definitely think we all can agree that Justin Jefferson is the player of the game here. 11 targets, 9 receptions, 184 yards, and 2 touchdowns. I mean, the man had 6 receptions, 158 yards in just the first half with those 2 touchdowns. He is special. He is the best wide receiver in the NFL, in my opinion. Aaron, what's the play of the game?
Yeah, the play of the game here is the Justin Jefferson touchdown, the second one. I don't know how he's wide open, but just his ability after the catch to also make a guy miss, get in the end zone all night long. He is, again, the ultimate super slow motion here. I don't know why that happened. This is what happens when you click fast. But Justin Jefferson's ability to make plays and find open space in zone coverage, beat man-to-man coverage, and then run after the catch is like very few people in the NFL. The man's special, and when he says he wants to be the greatest, he's well on pace right now. And I get it, it's only year 3, but he is going to break a ton of records. A ton of records the way he's going right now. Shout out to Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, I mean, he's already making Vikings history. He had the most. He now is second all time for Vikings receivers with 150 plus reception yards and 2 touchdowns in a game. Randy Moss did it 5 times. Justin Jefferson has already done it 3 times in his short career. The Minnesota Vikings next up will travel to Philly to take on the Eagles on Sunday, and the Packers will host the Chicago Bears on Sunday Night Football. Next game up on our list, it's the Kansas City Chiefs massacring the Arizona Cardinals.
The massacre is right. It's Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce. No better way to start the season. We knew this was going to be a connection all day long. Kelce 8 for 121. He might lead the NFL in receiving this year if it wasn't for that guy named Justin Jefferson. Look at Patrick Mahomes. The creativity is just uncanny. Finds Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and Clyde Edwards-Helaire would have himself a day. 4th and 2 here, already up 14-7. It's Helaire. Tutty number 2. Didn't have a big day on the ground, only 7 for 42, but also 2 touchdowns, added 3 catches. And this was the story all day long. It's Patrick Mahomes. And I know this is kind of, we just expect it, but off of his back foot, just enough air to give this guy time to get there. It's Luke Fortner. Jody Fortner for the touchdown. And then it's Mecole Hardman. Everybody getting involved. 4 different guys catching touchdown passes. 5 on the day for Patrick Mahomes, and the Chiefs absolutely roll the Cardinals. If you looked at my score prediction, it was very close to what I said. The Chiefs are good at football, and Patrick Mahomes, despite what Josh Allen did, Patrick Mahomes said, I am still the best quarterback in the NFL.
And
no turnovers, no sacks, 360 yards, 5 touchdowns, and an absolute rolling of the Cardinals. Patrick Mahomes is the best player in football, and he continues to prove it each week.
It's going to be a great race for the MVP between Mahomes and Josh Allen this year. Like you said, 5 different players scored a touchdown for the Chiefs in this game. The Cardinals decided to send the blitz at Patrick Mahomes 54% of the time, and it seemed like nothing was working to slow down Patrick Mahomes. Travis Kelce as well got in on the party. He had his 30th career 100-yard game, and I'll shift to the Cardinals side of things. They've now lost 6 of their last 7 games dating back to last season, including their playoff loss to the Rams. Obviously, this is a new season. It's a fresh start on a losing streak or a winning streak or whatever streak you want to talk about. But dating back to last year when they won, they went 10-2. Since then, they've lost 6 of 7. What is it with the Cardinals that they're just not figuring out? And what's the problem with the Cardinals right now?
Well, I think we said it in the offseason. They don't have a good roster. Their roster's not as good as no J.J. Watt yesterday. Secondary's not good. Obviously, they can't cover anybody. Both concerns that we had, they don't have the weapons. Greg Dortch, I'm sorry, can't be your number 1 wide receiver. You trade for a Hollywood Brown, but you're missing DeAndre Hopkins. James Conner gets too much work out of the backfield, so you're checking down a lot. Where's A.J. Green? Why do you even re-sign him if you're not going to use him? Zach Ertz was basically a disappearing act, and you can attribute that to Kansas City being really good. You can give them credit. But Arizona wants to be, again, what Kansas City is. So you have to be able to show up in games like this. You can't just go blow out bad teams or score against bad teams, and then your offense has nothing to show for it. Kyler Murray gets paid. Cliff Kingsbury is supposed to be an offensive guy, and you can't score. So to me, this is just not a good football team. And I told you I thought they regressed this year, that they were worse than they were last year, despite starting really hot, getting bad down the stretch because DeAndre Hopkins injury. I think they're a worse football team this year, and they're not going to win a lot of games. They're not. Kyler Murray will win them some games because he's good, but outside of that, they don't have a lot going for him.
Yeah, I mean, this was an absolute shit pumping for the Kansas City Chiefs, and this is a game that this is a setter for the Arizona Cardinals. Like the people that think that the Arizona Cardinals were going to be something, like this is a setter. If they were going to be something, they would have put up more of a fight against the Kansas City Chiefs. They did not. Just an absolute obliteration. But on the Chiefs side, it's status quo. I mean, it is their defense didn't look bad. Their offense was dominant. There's not much more to say with the Kansas City. This is just they are becoming like the Patriots, where it's just like the Tom Brady led Patriots is what it is. We expect greatness every single day, and they did here. Aaron, what's the top play from this game?
Top play from this game is Patrick Mahomes, and it's simple. Again, it looks very, very simple. But when you throw off your back foot and you lob it just long enough, when you see your guy that's going to be open, who's not open at the time, this is really hard to do. And not many quarterbacks in the NFL are good at it. And Patrick Mahomes is the best at it right now. He's good. I could have picked 5, 6 other throws, but that one to me stood out. I appreciate stuff like that. People take that for granted, but there are quarterbacks in the league that cannot do that. So that was it.
Patrick Mahomes, good at football. Breaking news. Patrick Mahomes is very good at football. Next game on our list is, hold on one second. There's just a lot happening over here. Next game on the list, it's the Los Angeles Chargers taking on the Las Vegas Raiders.
Yeah, you know who else is really good at football? It's Justin Herbert. And he would find his guys early and often as well. He had a day himself. Hitting the fullback out of the backfield. Gotta love that. Chargers up 10-3 here. Herbert again. This time finding, who is that? DeAndre Carter? Keenan Allen hurt in this game. DeAndre Carter comes in 3 for 64 and a touchdown. And I'm going to correct one of the announcers. Carter had more than one catch last year. They said that on the telecast. I did not love that. Derek Carr here looking for Mr. Davante Adams. Davante Adams coming in, fitting in nicely. 17 targets, 10 catches, 141 yards. He does what Davante Adams does. I still think he's the best wide receiver in football. And it's a Brandon Bolden sighting just for AJ. He gets work out of the backfield. Here's the touchdown from Davante Adams. Not many receivers making that catch. Despite numbers, like I said, he's the best receiver in football still. Derek Carr, though, and that offense just struggled all day to really get things going. Khalil Mack, 3 sacks, and the Chargers would go on to win. Shout out to the Chargers defense. 23-19. Raider fans. This is so hard for me because you guys know how I felt about the Raiders. I did pick the Chargers to win this game, but I said the Raiders would be 10-7, go to the playoffs. The Raiders fans on YouTube, after we did our thing, made it so hard for me to root on the Raiders in this game. Because I talked so highly about the Raiders, and then at the end of the clip, I said, I really think that the Chargers, just because they're at home, I'm giving them the edge. They're going to win the game. That's all I said. I didn't disrespect the Raiders. I didn't go at the Raiders because I've been one of the biggest Raider advocates over the past 2 seasons. I know what they went through last year. I picked them again this year to finish second in the division. And the Raider fans came at me. And that whole game, all I kept thinking was, I hope these Raiders lose. I hope these Raiders lose. Because the stuff that they were saying was absolutely asinine. Derek Carr going to throw for 50 times and 500. All that. I was just losing my mind with what they were saying. And they couldn't hold up in pass protection. And despite him throwing almost 40 times, I'm going to say this one more time. Josh McDaniels was a big reason why the Raiders did not win this game. And he's done everything right up until this point. Josh Jacobs had 10 carries. 10. Brandon Bolden had 3. They ran the ball 13 times. Josh Jacobs was averaging 5.7 yards a carry against the worst rush defense damn near last year. He was averaging over 5.5 yards a carry. And I couldn't even come on here and say I was right again. Chargers still can't stop the run because they didn't try it enough. It's stupid. It doesn't make any sense. And these teams get so pass happy because they all want their guys to be Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, and Justin Herbert. When the Raiders should have been running the football with Josh Jacobs and running play action with Derek Carr. And they didn't, and that's why they lost this football game.
Well, we talked about earlier on in the show about how like teams are playing all their guys in preseason and things like that. We saw a good bit of preseason action for a lot of these Raider players. And the thing is, the difference was, though, is one of the highlights of the preseason was them utilizing their rushing attack. And they didn't use it in this game. And that's what it was, that they changed from what they did in the preseason. And it seems like that's what they should have been sticking to. On the Chargers side of things, they looked good. They were playing against a good defense. They looked good. Khalil Mack on the defensive side was my player of the game because he had the 3 sacks against his former team. 5 tackles, 3 sacks, 4 QB hits. He seemed like he was disrupting all game long. Khalil Mack, my player of the game. The Chargers look good, though. I like the direction that this team is going. Bosa looked good. Mack looked good. The Keenan Allen injury is a little concerning, but it seems like Justin Herbert can be one of those quarterbacks that can elevate just about any other wide receiver that so far so good with him elevating the next man up because of how good he is.
I got one more thing that I wanted to point out. Mike Williams, 2 catches, 10 yards. This is Mike Williams, guys. It's Mike Williams. That's what he is.
Yep.
Big games, disappearing act. Justin Herbert's going to spread the ball around. If it's not Keenan Allen, good luck. Look how many. Nobody had more than 4 targets. Yep. Nobody had more than 4 targets, and the man threw the ball 34 times.
And we talked about that was the same statistic from the Bears against the Niners in that slop fest. This game, beautiful Los Angeles, California. Like, this was beautiful SoFi Stadium. Like, there was no rain. There was no reason for only 4 targets per receiver, but Justin Herbert does a good job at spreading it around, and that's just what it is. Aaron, what was the play of the game?
Play of the game, Khalil Mack. Finishing off here, Raiders have a chance to go down 4th and 8, and his 3rd sack of the day against his former team. Gotta love that. I just thought he played well. I knew you were going to pick him as player of the game, so I thought it was only fitting to also give him the play of the game. There were a number of good plays in this one, but his consistent pass rush showed out well, and the 3rd sack there, finishing off the Raiders, was my play of the game.
Did you know that I was going to give him as play of the game? Did you know that?
It was either going to be him or Herbert. So, I figured.
Good guess.
Yeah, I figured Vinny likes a little obscure at times, so let's go to the defensive side. Especially the Chargers defense was what was most talked about as needing to improve. So,
yeah, got to show them some love. Got to show them some love here. Next up for the Raiders, they will take on the Arizona Cardinals at home, and the Chargers will travel to Kansas City to take on the Chiefs on Thursday night. The last game of our recaps, it's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Dallas Cowboys on Sunday Night Football.
Talk about not being able to find highlights. Early in the game, welcome back, Chris Godwin. Dallas up 3-0 on the first drive of the game. No penalties on that drive. They get a field goal, but after that, it was all Tampa in this one. Leonard Fournette, 21 carries, 127 yards on the day. He had himself a good one. 3rd down here, Tampa Bay looking to get in the end zone. Micah Parsons, the only man, well, one of 2 men that showed up today or yesterday for the Dallas Cowboys. Dak Prescott looking for his man, ill-advised throw. It's picked off. Tampa Bay's defense comes up big there. They would look to capitalize. Just a few plays later, it's 3rd down once again. Tom Brady, and it's that man again. Micah Parsons beats one of the best left tackles early in the game, puts him out with an injury, and then beats his backup. 2nd sack on the day. Tom Brady here. Looking for who? Julio Jones with the deep ball. Wearing the number 6. A little flashback into the Julio's prime. And then it was Mike Evans would go to work. One of the best end zone threats. Mike Evans makes the catch. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. The only touchdown of the game here. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers go on to dominate Dallas 19-3. It was an ugly game. Both offenses struggled really in this one at times. But Tampa Bay does what they needed to do and gets the win.
Tom Brady now becomes now is 7-0 against the Cowboys, including the postseason. I believe that's one of the highest win streaks against the Cowboys for any starting quarterback. I'm just glad you threw in the Julio highlight. That's what I needed to see.
I need to say a couple of things. I need to say a couple of things about the Dallas Cowboys. Cowboys fans very disappointed in CeeDee Lamb. He's got to be better. Yesterday they showed how much they missed Amari Cooper and some of the weapons and Michael Gallup. CeeDee Lamb has to be better. Dak Prescott did not play well. He needs to play better. Obviously, he's now out for some period of time. But I'm going to say this one final time again. I know I've said this before. The Dallas Cowboys have got to give the ball to Ezekiel Elliott. If there is a debate whether you think Zeke is better than Tony Pollard or not, then you do not know football. And I will say that for the very last time. Tony Pollard gave up about 2 sacks last night of his own or disruptive plays because he doesn't know how to block. He's not a between the tackles runner. Ezekiel only went 10 for 52. Again, another RB1 with 10 carries. We got to stop doing this, coaches. Give the man the ball. He's averaging 5 yards a carry. He looked good. He looked explosive. Yes, he's not going to take it 80 yards for a touchdown. But so what? Nick Chubb doesn't either. And Nick Chubb is very effective at what he does when you give him 22 carries. Tony Pollard played bad last night, and they were trying to use him in certain ways, running reverses and stuff. He did not look good. He is not better than Ezekiel Elliott. He is not an every down back. He is a guy that you come in, you give the ball to 5 to 6 times and in the run game, get some explosive runs, and then throw the ball out of the backfield a few times to get some explosive plays. He is not the future for the Dallas Cowboys running game, and I love Tony Pollard, but it's got to stop. Kellen Moore coached an absolute terrible game. Mike McCarthy coached a terrible game. They're an undisciplined football team. When they were physical, they were successful. There are too many turnovers, too many penalties. The Dallas Cowboys, this is not last year. That is not the same team that played in week 1. And right now, they are not going 12-5. They will be lucky to win 6 games this year, playing the way they are. And now with Dak Prescott being out, they don't have a chance. But if I'm the Dallas Cowboys and I'm Jerry Jones, I get on the phone right now, and I said this about the Jets, and I call the 49ers, and I call Jimmy Garoppolo, and say, hey, Jimmy G, Jimmy G, hey, I know you got a no-trade clause. I need you to waive that no-trade clause, and I need you to be accepted on this Dallas Cowboys football team and start until Dak Prescott gets back. It's their only chance. It is their only chance because he can hand the ball off, he can run play action, and he's experienced. It's the only quarterback out there.
What are you willing to give up for Jimmy G? Like, what's your trade for Jimmy G?
I give him a late round pick because he's going to walk. Either way, they're going to get something, so he's going to walk.
Okay,
late round pick.
That's fair. On the Bucs side of things, it was another great performance from Leonard Fournette, who is just having a great career now with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. In this game against the Cowboys, 21 carries, 2 receptions, 137 total yards in this game. He did not find the end zone, but it seemed like he was the best player on this Bucs offense, in my opinion. Leonard Fournette gets my player of the game. What gets your play of the game?
Yeah, there wasn't much to do here, but it's Julio.
I'm
going to give respect, and you know what? If Julio's healthy, he's going to be a factor in this offense, especially with Godwin down. Godwin being out, it's going to be big. Russell Gage was nowhere to be found. Julio Jones, shout out, resurrecting your career, possibly maybe in Tampa, similar to Antonio Brown, older receiver. Got to stay healthy, but I liked what I saw from him. They ran him like twice, reverses, and good showing for Julio Jones. He was my play of the game with that long catch there.
I thought he died there. I thought he was dead. We were together, and I was like, I think Julio just died. I was like, he had a great game for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and then that's it. He's done. He's not going to play. We're going to see him pop up on the injury report from that play, and then that's it. He's done. So, But shout out Julio for getting the job done and helping the Tampa Bay Buccaneers get the victory over the Dallas Cowboys 19-3 tonight. Oh, I should say I kind of skipping over things. The Cowboys host Cincinnati Bengals next week without Dak Prescott, and the Bucs will travel to New Orleans to take on the Saints in a heated divisional matchup. Tonight, we will see the Seattle Seahawks take on the Denver Broncos. We all have the Broncos in our predictions. Tomorrow, we will recap that game as well as diving into more. I don't even know what I'm going to do tomorrow, actually. I know we're recapping that game, but we're going to be talking more week one action. You're not going to want to miss it live at 10 a.m. Eastern time right here at the Sac City Pod. Follow us on all of our social media pages on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Tickety Talk at Sac City Pod. Make sure you share. Let the people know that we are the number one place to get your football fix. Week one is almost in the books. Aaron, I've had a great time with you today. Tomorrow we'll be back again, 10 a.m. Eastern time. For my best friend Aaron Mukes and for myself, I am me. We'll see you tomorrow.
Peace out.